shooting live there, and let's transition. So, great. Vanessa, Mark, tell us a little bit about Culture Kitchens. I've been looking on your Facebook page. I mean, there's some really, really exciting stuff. Just to find out more about exactly what you guys do, how do you work in the marketplace, what is your target market, and where do you see Culture Kitchens going? I mean, just on the name itself, it says a lot. I did get it right, didn't I?
Yes.
Culture Kitchen, yes.
Culture Kitchen, okay, just double checking.
I'll leave it to you.
Okay. Well, I had a restaurant. Vanessa's had a couple. I had a restaurant in Port Elizabeth before, and the dream was the food truck even before that. And I kind of fell into the trap of the whole restaurant industry and loved it. Did really well and sold it, and then the idea of the food truck was born once again. I then had also this secret weapon over here to my left.
So there is a secret weapon lying around
That's
somewhere.
me.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously I had a lot more sort of confidence going into it. With the restaurant, it kind of had following already. We took over an existing place that was also, it was a live music and events venue, and we kind of just took it from strength to strength. And yeah, once that was done, it was kind of, what's my next project? You know, we put it on the market for whatever we thought we could get, and it was sold a lot quicker than we expected. So
bonus.
Yeah. Well, for Vanessa, yes. No, she was the catalyst. I'm far happier now, I must say. I didn't know what I would do, but I'm very happy to be doing what I'm doing now. Although it made some huge changes in our lives. Moving to Johannesburg was one of them. We were in Port Elizabeth before.
The windy city.
Yeah, friendly city.
Friendly.
Come on.
There's so much friendship down here, you get blown away.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
we go. Jeez, I've never heard that before, and I'm from PE. But yeah, so basically, with the whole food truck thing, we were doing the store setup even while we had the restaurant, and I was going to Durban and Joburg and Pretoria and Nelspruit and all sorts of different events, and it kind of made sense that either it's career change or city change, and I was loving what I was doing but not in the right place.
Yeah.
And moving to Johannesburg, there's just a different energy, different level of just people enjoy of what they want. You know, they know what they want. They're doers, not talkers. Not putting my hometown down. I must say the food truck industry in Port Elizabeth is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's picked up
It
a lot.
really is. We were sort of on the upswing and left before it was massive. It was big already for PE, and it's just gone from strength to strength.
So just to stop you there, just for the listeners, what is the food truck? Is it the...
Well, it's actually a trailer, but everyone knows them as a food truck. It's a fully equipped kitchen on wheels. So what's nice is, like Vanessa got a really nice event recently in Magoebaskloof. We did a wedding in the middle of the bushes, you know.
Mighty for the woods.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah, so it was down in the forest, and we did a
beautiful.
6-course food and wine pairing, for which we used the truck or the trailer as the kitchen.
Oh,
So
fantastic.
from my perspective, it's more about having a kitchen wherever I go. Whatever event I want to do, we can do it because we've got a kitchen.
Yeah, well, I was about to
So-
say, I mean, this must change the whole catering industry, or turn it
Yeah.
on its head. It's no longer do you have to pre-prep the food, hope it stays warm, nothing sort of falls over. You can actually do it live, cook it there at the venue.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's plated warm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Essentially, it would be plated warm anyway, but you don't have to worry about your bain-maries and the gels and anything drying out. It's done almost...
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Exactly,
So
like you do
it's
it out of
we're not
the kitchen.
prepping at home, traveling 600 kilometers and then serving them dry lasagna, you
Sure.
know.
Yeah, which
We-
makes a huge turn on the head.
Absolutely, yeah. So also quite a big difference the way we looked at it, and it's maybe not the way I would have looked at it had I not had the secret weapon, as I call her. lots of companies open and they go Mr. Taco or whatever. We called ourselves Culture Kitchen because we can go across all the different cultural bounds. We can do burgers, tacos, hot dogs, high-end canapes, food and wine pairings, and things like that. And
so,
more,
in a sense, bespoke meals on wheels.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
And moreover, instead of designing a kitchen that can do tacos, so you've got very specific stuff that you need for that. Vanessa's designed lots of different kitchens, and we've got a kitchen that can really lend itself to many different things. And that's a really nice thing, because often we'll go to an event or a festival and they say, sorry, but we've already got burgers. Cool, well, we'll do something else.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's diversity,
Exactly.
you've been able to diversify on your
Fit in.
feet. Yeah, so
exactly.
you're not. We often hear a lot of entrepreneurs come up with the statement that there's just not enough resources. And what you've just done is turned that on its head by saying, well, if you pre-plan and you have a look at what you have, you can become ultimately resourcefulness on your own without having to say, well, thank you so much for driving all the way to Victoria for the flea market, in a sense, but we already have your kind of food. It's like, what do you do? Travel all the way back? So that's phenomenal. So you just taken catering and turned it yet again on its head.
Well, I mean, also, if we've got corporate clients or private clients, for example, I have a lot of people saying to me, can you please send us your menu or your prices or whatever? And I say, you need to tell me what your event is, and we work around what you want. Right. So we look at how many people, the times, what style the event is, their budget, and then we work towards that. So we don't have any set prescribed things, that we have to stick to. We can make it work. Sort of whatever.
So
the case
really,
is.
it is. It's a designer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, basically,
from the start to the finish.
Exactly.
It's quite funny. People often come to us and say, "Please send me a menu and a quote." It doesn't work like that, please, can we get your number? First of all, speaking is way better because you get the feeling of the person and the personality and whatever. And then we start from grassroots. Where is it? What do we have there? Can our trailer fit? How many people? What kind of vibe are you looking for? You sit down, casual, formal, food and wine pairings, whiskey pairings. What kind of thing are you looking for? And then once we've got that, Vanessa's the genius, and she pulls something. Absolutely. I just watch in awe.
I hope we're recording this.
So if it ever comes up, then there you have it, Vanessa. It's recorded. You've got it.
It's on record.
But it's true. It takes two to tango. I mean, they're always stronger. It's not that anyone's stronger in the business. That each person adds their own.
We've each got our own strong points.
And when you're able to merge us together, you have something fantastic.
Yeah, it really works.
We make a really good team. I'm very, very happy about.
For example, I can barely drive. I'm the worst driver in the world. So can't even think about towing a 2-ton food truck. So that is definitely like Mark's department dealing with.
I'm the driver.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, if I was trying to do this on my own, trying to do that side of the business, I just don't have those.
You don't have the skills. It's like in my business. I mean, I'm great with what I do, but without Lucille, my business doesn't function. I mean, we work so hand in hand together that I know what I do and what she does. I don't even have to worry about it because it's almost taken care of. It's like it's done. The same sort of thing. Exactly. Mark, did you bring the trailer in? Should you be asking? Forgot the trailer. Where did I put it?
If Mark didn't have me, there would be other aspects of the business that we wouldn't be able to do either. So
absolutely.
So, tell me a bit about the passion. Where do you see Culture Kitchen going?
Exactly on the path it's on. I'm really stoked with where we are. We went into it. Obviously, Vanessa and I have been more on working far closer together than we expected to be first off. We kind of thought Vanessa's side of things would be far different to what the Culture Kitchen side of things. So she's Chef Vanessa and I'm sort of Culture Kitchen, where we are both together, but it's kind of separated.
It runs together and crosses over.
But it works so well together, I'm getting so many leads from the big events and festivals, and then when we get those leads, Vanessa makes the menus and all the rest, and we go, and then we need the trailer there because they don't have a kitchen. So everything sort of doubles, and we're working far closer together than initially expected, and it's working very well. You know, I thought I'd be doing as many festivals as possible, where now we're getting very picky with them.
Which is nice. It's a good thing.
It's very nice.
I mean, that's ultimately where you want to be, where you can look at things and say, well, thank you very much, but actually that's not worth our while. Because you do end up at festivals where they promise you the world, they charge you an arm and a leg for your stall, and it's absolutely...
It's dismal.
You can make food, unfortunately, it's not like clothing or something like that.
You can't pack it away and serve
it next week, you know. There's frozen things, and there's certain ways and means around it, but everything that you've taken in your trailer to go and serve at a festival is basically either served, or what's quite nice is we've got a little orphanage that we take it to on Malibongwe. Just off Malibongwe up there, which is quite nice, you know. At least it's giving back. So nothing really goes to waste. Even our throwaway veg and stuff goes
to piggies.
I mean, that's what we should, as entrepreneurs, if we look at how we can diversify our wastage.
Absolutely.
And I mean, there's so many. There's the needy. There is sort of four-legged friends that could do with the leftover scraps. A lot of people are just too lazy, or don't have the time to, or don't find the time, should be the right word.
It's mostly laziness and ignorance.
Yeah.
If you know what you're after, you can make a plan.
Sure.
You can make a plan.
You know, that's
the thing I really focus on is sustainability in kitchens, and working on a sort of farming project for schools at the moment, which will be launched soon, so watch the space.
Awesome.
There's another interview coming.
Cool.
And so I've tried to apply those things that I've used in the kitchen before to our small business now. So, you know, just having that bucket, and we put all the peels and the things that we can't use into the bucket, and I've got a horse that's stabled in Lindborough, and they've got 2 pigs, so all the piggies get that, you know.
Which is great.
And then other stuff that can be used for soups and things, you know, obviously we take to those sort of places. And other days we've got 10 packets of rolls, and I chuck them out the car window at people, and they're just like beside themselves. So there's always a plan you can make.
There's always a plan that you can make to help another human being out, which I think is awesome.
Sure.
And I mean, I think a lot of businesses now are realizing give back should become part of the core foundation of your business.
Shouldn't be like should I? It should be imperative. It should be rewarded.
Like second nature.
And eventually
but it should be rewarded
for
people that it isn't second nature to. It should be rewarded so it becomes second nature, because the reward will be initial. And then the self-reward is far more than any reward that you could ask for. And then it becomes second nature. And then if you're getting maybe tax rebates or something like that, you really are moving along. But it would be really nice if, Vanessa's taught me that. I really wasn't into any of that until Vanessa came along, and I feel really good with what happens with our sort of wastage. It's not wasted.
It's not wasted.
We also use sustainable packaging that's compostable, biodegradable, and
so it's
things
all green.
like that.
It's basically green in that sense that you take green.
I think that there's a lot of scope in the food truck industry to change stuff like that. I see a lot of guys still using polystyrene and things.
Yeah, which is damaging absolutely.
And I mean, I think at the end of the day, a lot of people say, the cost. And yes, somebody does have to take on the cost at the end of the day. We're prepared to be those guys. Yeah. But, we also put our price up a little bit. And we say to people, well, if you want this beautiful packaging and this incredible product, then this is the price.
And I think what you're saying there, if you become the front runners and you start setting the stage, others will follow. Yeah. And I think it will get to the point that recyclable or renewable or reusable packaging or products will start to take the front, and a lot of people will start saying, well, do I really want a plastic cup or a polystyrene cup?
Or do I really want that straw? There's a huge thing about straws at the moment.
Okay. I haven't heard anything.
Well, I mean, straws they're just pollution. I mean, you can't recycle them. They're just like,
Okay, well, that's a good point. I didn't even know that.
Imagine all the straws that are used in the world. They end up somewhere, and it's mostly in, landfills and oceans and stuff like that. So everybody's trying to sort of steer away from using straws. So
it's just
that's an interesting All these little things that you think of, you know.
Yeah. But it's things that we take for granted. I mean, look, coming from I've been a 70s child and growing up, I was intrigued by your 70s bus and the combi. I thought that's so cool. Your little
Wrong
70s bar.
Wrong one.
Wrong one?
Yeah.
Okay, then wrong page altogether.
No, we've got the trailer that kind of looks like it's
I've seen it.
wooden.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe he's thinking
wooden
of
facade.
Woodstock.
I might have seen it, but carrying on in that 70s, everything was there for us. I mean, we grew up with straws, we grew up with sachets, sugar. Everything was packaged. Everything was basically tear, rip, throw away. And we weren't really. I know they brought out that ZB thing in the 70s, 80s, where it was everything go in the can. But once that habit is set, it is very difficult to break. And I'm sure you guys have a lot of catch up to do, as in terms of when the people walk around. Do you know which is your plates? Can you isolate it? And do people get you to tidy up the areas after your event, or is it?
There are certain ones that are like that, but yeah, no. Mainly, it's part of the health and safety for the big events. They have to have cleaners and things like that. So it's although yes, I mean we pay large fees to be there, so we're basically paying for it indirectly. So it's not our cleaners, but also as our personal mess is obviously we sort it out.
Yeah, I mean we take
any
all
grey
our
water, any oil
Used
that we
oil.
use, anything like that, we have to dispose of ourselves. But over and above that, and it's quite nice to see how strictly sort of monitored it is, especially not necessarily us, which is quite strict, but more so the big event organisers and things like that. It's a big part of it, and becoming more and more so, which is
good.
But actually, you know, even when we do private events or corporate events, the whole sort of idea is that we arrive out of nowhere. We serve this incredible food, and then we disappear.
Yeah.
So when we pack up, all our stuff comes with us.
Well, the nice
There's
thing
no
about it
trace.
is you don't have to fight with kitchen staff that already are residents for the venues.
or dirty the Kugel's kitchen, or you know. It's a selling point.
Don't worry, you don't have to do every kitchen. It's all done for you.
There's a lady out there sitting going, "Oh, it's perfect."
And Mark's going, I know, Vanessa's got it. But as in terms of function, what's coming? What have you got coming up? Anything big for the end of the year? Anything you're working on?
There's a gaming event this weekend. I don't know.
It's Santon Convention Centre,
which is pretty cool.
Okay.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Nice.
And it runs over 24/7 for 3 days.
No, that's the gaming convention. Is computer gaming?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
FIFA, if I'm not mistaken.
The soccer.
And then they've got all sorts of celebrities and stuff coming, and there's obviously the Santon Convention Centre guys that will do the sort of graveyard shift. I think they do pies and cool drinks and stuff like that. And then we are, I think, from 8 a.m. till 10 p.m. or all 4 days except for the last day. It ends a little bit early.
Okay, what are you serving if we can sneak some?
We're doing our barbecue pulled pork bun, which is sort of
a mouthful, eh?
yeah, so it's slow braised pork neck with a homemade barbecue sauce, and then apple, cabbage, and minced slaw with a little bit of sriracha chili sauce on a sesame bun.
Really starting to
So that's been there since day one. That's like our staple. That's always on the menu.
That's your signature.
And what's nice is when we get super busy, we even put it on our menu. We can get this out within 30 seconds, and we can even get it out quicker. If we've got lots of orders, we can get one unit out every 10 seconds.
Okay, that's good.
Which is really quick.
So
when we're really busy and people are waiting for, because obviously a beef burger, you've got to make the patty from scratch every time.
Yeah.
So that takes a couple minutes. Where the pulled pork, we're not braising the pulled pork per burger. You know what I mean?
It's really
so we've got it in a nice big bain marie, and we've got maybe 10-15 kilos ready, and then as it gets low, we just keep adding. So it kind of it's just about putting it together.
It's about packaging.
Heat and put together.
Yeah, and especially for the gaming conference. I mean,
exactly. Guys don't want to be.
They don't want to be standing. No, they want to be behind their little screen.
We're doing that. We're also doing our burgers. We make the most incredible burgers. It's grass-fed beef, and then you can add some creamy mushrooms, bacon, cheese, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And and our mac and cheeses.
Yeah, we do a 5 cheese mac and cheese.
That's nice.
So it's properly rich,
Okay.
and yeah, it's become very popular. At the beginning, it's kind of people looked at it and
Like 5
not
cheeses
so
on it.
sure. So it's got blue, it's got
It's
brie,
really good.
parmesan, mozzarella, and cheddar.
So no pun and cheesiness.
Yeah, there's a lot of other puns that we've been kind of wrapping the knuckles forward. We'll keep this clean. But yeah, and then we also add the pulled pork to that if people want to make it meaty. So it's a vegetarian option, or we do the braised brisket as well that we can add to it as well.
Yeah, I was about to slip in. Is there anything for the sort of veggie heads?
Yeah, so we do that, and then we do a noodle dish as well.
Okay.
Like homemade pesto, sun-dried tomatoes, feta.
Yeah, I wouldn't put anything
It's,
past what you're saying, not being homemade first. I mean,
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we make everything from scratch. But these noodles are incredible. They called no-cal noodles, and they've actually got no fat, no carbs, no calories,
They're
no
natural.
anything actually,
Natural, okay.
but they're
That's-
completely natural.
okay.
And yeah, you can find them in Discam,
Mhm.
and so that's always a great option because if I go to a festival or something, I just find there's a lot of stuff on bread.
Yeah.
So if you're not really into that, or you don't want a meaty thing, it's a really nice light option. So
That sounds very nice.
it's a little bit of a chick dish, but when I do put it on, people love it. So
Oh,
yeah.
I think it's all about your taste buds and what you're actually craving for.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
was
It's something
chatting to
really different.
good partners and saying, well, where'd you go for supper nowadays? I mean, where'd you go out to actually
You're
go
asking
out?
us.
No, I mean, rhetorical.
I've got a list for you.
Just wondering where'd you go out to get something different? I mean, if you go to your standard sort of regular Spurs and all of those restaurants, the food's still the same.
Mm.
And if you go to a couple of bespoke restaurants, what you find is their turnover on their menus sometimes can take a little bit longer than expected to try something new.
Yeah.
We eat out a lot, so the problem is you can run out of restaurants and you go,
Oh my word, I can give you a whole list. Maybe we should exchange.
So you were asking what other things we've got coming up. We've just confirmed in the last couple of weeks that we are doing another pop-up restaurant in Morgan's Bay on the coast.
oh, very nice.
Over
Yeah.
December again. We did it last year and it was very well received.
Oh, fantastic.
It was a sort of a cutting teeth exercise.
Oh, it is, huh?
Yes. We
It
didn't
was
make things
harder. It was
easy
difficult.
for ourselves. Where this year, instead of being there for 4 weeks, we were there for 4 weeks last time, and we had 6 different accommodations. So you can imagine it's
We're
moving
moving
freezers,
around.
it's
Oh,
moving.
yeah.
So it was properly hard work last time, but this time we the locals know about us. I mean, I'm getting phone calls probably weekly saying,
Okay.
"Are you coming? Are you
Okay,
coming?
yeah.
Are you doing it again? This time I've got some tables and chairs for you. I've got a tent for you. I've got it." So everyone,
Okay, so everyone's pitching in.
community, yeah, people are very excited for it.
It's
There's
just something really different there as well because there's so many people that go down to that area.
Mhm.
This is like this influx of thousands of people, and the restaurants they just can't.
they're
handle
really
volume.
good. They're
Yeah.
great
No,
restaurants.
Yeah, they're incredible, but it's just you
I mean,
just
you
can't
can-
get a seat.
You get
Even
a half
the-
a Joburg arriving down there. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
well, I mean,
like
we-
that.
Even the
These
restaurants
people-
are stoked
Yeah.
and can't wait for us to get
Yeah.
there. It's not like we're taking their customers,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah,
quite
we're
interesting.
helping them.
We are
relieve
just
the-
relieving the
well,
chaos.
you go to the restaurant first. I mean, that would be your ideal
Mm.
on holiday. I'm going to go to the restaurant. The restaurant
Yeah.
turns you away. What happens? Oh, what a bum holiday.
Yeah.
Restaurant turns you away and says, look, we're sorry we can't take you, but just 2 blocks down is
Yeah.
a fantastic kitchen that
3 blocks, just 3
Okay.
blocks.
3 blocks down, whichever.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's literally that works well for them. And
Yeah.
I love
Absolutely.
the. Our biggest thing that we found was a lot of businesses were always so scared of sharing business. It's like, oh, these are my
Yeah.
clients.
Yeah.
And what I found over the last 3 or 4 years is entrepreneurs and business owners have actually changed their mindset, and it's how can we help each other
Yeah, you
actually
have
grow?
to.
Yeah.
Because you can't do this on
No.
on your own. If you're trying to do it on your own and say, well, I'm gonna keep all of these clients for myself, there's
Sure.
gonna come a day that
No,
it doesn't
we're
you're
work.
going to mess it up
all
first
Yeah.
of all,
Of course.
and then you're going to lose that customer for good.
Yeah.
Where if you share the thing, then they're going to share with you, and it's just all in all, it's just a way better way of working, you know. And going back to the pop up, what's nice is you're a Joburg boy, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, so Joburg shuts down from about the 15th.
Yes.
It's like doors closed,
Goes
everybody,
Everybody goes,
you know,
yeah.
bugger off. And so one of the main things about moving from a restaurant to a kitchen on wheels or a food truck or whatever was, instead of waiting for the people to come to my restaurant, I'm now going to the people.
You can find the people.
You know what I mean? I now know, okay, well, there's this, and this. I can choose, okay, well, let's try and organize and that we can set up a little stall at that festival, instead of waiting for the people and paying rent at your restaurant and paying huge marketing fees because, that's what you need to do to get the people to come to you.
And also your staffing. I mean, having your waiters standing around waiting for somebody to come in.
Yeah.
So we're now going down to Morgan's Bay, and it's from the 15th till the 10th. The 5 last days are really, it's more like the 15th.
Yeah, cool. And get yourself back and packed up to come back to Joburg.
That's quite a nice thing, Instead of we do Pretoria, we don't have to lift a whole bricks and mortar and whatever. We just put it in the trailer and we
just hook it up and off you go.
Yeah.
I mean, when you've had enough of Joburg, literally you can go anywhere in South Africa.
Pretty much.
Which is phenomenal. I mean, it's a nice take on, a restaurant on wheels.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much.
This time we've got a mate of ours that's going to give us a little 6x6 stretch tent.
Oh, very nice.
So we'll create like a little area.
Feel,
yes, and then I'm going to go get some pallets and make little improv chairs and tables and stuff, and the bowls people love it, and the neighbours, because we don't leave any mess, and the only smells that we have are great smells. You know what I mean?
So those smells. Like
that bacon in the morning. We do an amazing eggs Benedict. But we do it sort of to go, so it's on a bun with rocket, crispy bacon, poached egg, and then
freshly
made. So that's
that's
got a huge following as well.
Oh, okay, fantastic.
Yeah, get a couple of the early morning runners, and they come and grab their eggs Benny and a cup of coffee. So
that's fun.
Yeah,
where are you based in Joburg now? Now that we're
in Sandton, but
no wonder the doll.
So we're in Bramley in Sandton. We've got a really nice property there where we can have our kitchen, sort of our trailer kitchen there. So all our prep is done there as well.
Okay. So just to stop you there, because I'm sort of starting to salivate. We can only get you at pop-up markets or at venues or festivals.
Or call us and we'll come feed you at a price.
You bring the whole trailer with.
Pretty much. But if you follow our page on Facebook, we're always posting, okay, we're going to this event or that event, and a lot of them are public events. So it's quite nice. You can come and see us there. Otherwise, we are available for the corporate bookings or the private. We've got a lot of clients who will have kids parties, but they've actually got more parents coming than they do kids.
Okay.
So they'll call us in to cater for the parents.
Okay, which is nice.
It's always party.
Nice. Yeah. Who's going to a kids party and the parents are going to eat peanuts and snacks.
Yeah.
We have been flirting with the idea of opening up a little shop front, looking sort of Carnival area or something like that, something that kind of just pays the rent, and so that if people drive past Culture Kitchen every day, it has its value. You know what I mean?
As long as it's not costing branding.
Exactly. So as long as it's not costing us anything, Vanessa started a very cool little confectionery business. Busy starting. I mean, we don't even have the CI yet, the corporate image yet. So
that's
where it is.
Okay.
But she's
always got to start from an idea.
Exactly. So
I've got orders already.
She made a Rocky Road the other day for my mom, and my mom was like, "No, this isn't. This is too good to just eat yourself. You need to sell it."
To be eating,
So and my mom named it, Messi Nessie. Her nickname is Vanessa. So that's where. So maybe that's what we'd start, because then we can have a little confectionery thing, and maybe a couple of our products, that we can sell from the shop front. And if people want to come in and have a meeting with us, it's better than meeting at
wherever for a cup of coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we don't want to go in the state.
So we might look at that. We might look at that at some point.
Okay, very nice. Very, very nice. Plans for the future we've discussed, and so what's up for the end of the year for you guys? Well, we know you're going down to Gordon's Bay. Everybody,
Morgan's
Bay. Everybody between
and
the
we're toying with the idea of a couple of international pop-ups actually.
The year's getting a little bit thin.
Yeah, so we're running out of time a bit. It could flip over into next year.
Okay.
But places like Hong Kong, Ho Chi Minh City,
Very nice.
to go for a month and do a pop-up restaurant there.
Just a question on that pop-up. How are you going to get the trailer?
No, so basically, I met with a woman in Hong Kong a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, very nice.
She is born and bred. She's half English, half Hong Kong. I suppose that's Chinese. I don't know what's the
Chinese,
correct thing to say, but it is part of China. And she's got a very successful publicity firm.
Okay.
And I'd say 80% of her focus is restaurants and food and stuff like that, although she does lots of other things as well. She obviously caught on to what Vanessa's capable of and things like that. I met with her and she's very keen. So the only issue is it needs to be between sort of September, October, and we're running out of time fast.
Yeah, it is right.
But so probably next year, looking at a couple of pop-ups.
After Chinese New Year, which is February, so we'd look at about March, I reckon.
Okay, that's
which
I'm
is very
working
exciting.
on a project. I do quite a lot of work with Henry Visser and Studio H, and we're working on a pop-up with them possibly during September.
Okay.
So sort of watch our Facebook pages and things like that, and to see where and what and how and who. I can't say much more. But that'll be in Joburg. That'll be in Joburg for a month, and that's going to be a really cool experience.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
So
fantastic.
It's always something different going on.
Well, there's always something on the cook, huh?
Yeah.
What's nice is we, instead of being in a restaurant where we both used to be, and they really do have their plus sides, and I loved my restaurant. I had a lot of fun there.
Sure.
But what's nice is if I want to do something different, obviously with some good planning and financially planning. Thank you, love, and things like that. We can do it. If we've got a dream, we can realize it. Where with a restaurant, I felt anchored. I felt
you feel a little stuck
because you have to be there.
Yeah, you have to. It's like a ball and chain.
Exactly. With this international thing, even if I had the opportunity, I wouldn't be able to do it because who would run my restaurant? Now, as long as I'm making money there, you can't. Culture Kitchen can sort of go on or maybe close for a couple of weeks. No one would really notice that if we're not at this festival, because we could be at the other festival. There, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a big difference, and it's something I've always been. I get bored very easily. I lose interest in things, and I like to have projects and follow exciting ideas and things like that. And that's why this is so down my alley.
It's great. Every day is different. Every event's different.
Every customer is different.
Yeah. So
especially that last guy at Nelspruit. I hope you're watching.
Don't come find us.
Yeah.
But it's great to hear. Just in passing notes, or leaving what advice could you give entrepreneurs that are looking to start up?
Follow your dream.
Yeah.
Really, it seems so difficult and big until you actually start scratching the surface, and then by the time you stop scratching and you look around, you're right in the middle of it, and it's working, and it's a rolling machine that kind of has its own life, and it's follow it, do it.
So you can see he's the dreamer. To be very realistic as a chef, you can't just sort of quit your job in a restaurant and do your own thing. I do suggest sort of building up a following on the side, or trying to have a part-time position while you're working on your own project, and once you're ready to then take off to move over. And obviously for the person that you're working for or with, say to them, look, this is actually what I'm working on, and I'll keep you posted. And then eventually sort of move over into your own business.
Right.
So it took quite a while for me to build up the contacts and the clients and all of that. But once I'd realized, that I could really do it on my own, and with Mark, then we were sort of ready to go. So, and you just have to stick to it. I mean, it does get a little bit scary, but you've got to keep going.
Sometimes gravy and rice tastes really good.
Sounds great.
You've got to be.
You know what? That's the reality of it. You really got to, make the sacrifices and stick to it and stick to it and
We
just keep
haven't-
going. It does come around.
It does come around, and I mean, I grew up in Zimbabwe, and we have a saying up there is if you can go to bed with a slice of bread and a cup of tea, you never went to bed hungry.
Absolutely.
So I mean, it's what are you prepared to sacrifice in order to achieve what you guys are almost on the brink of achieving? By the sounds of it, you've already achieved a lot of your milestones.
Yeah.
You're knocking it out there.
No, I wouldn't. I think we've got a hell of a long way to go.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a
we
start,
have done a lot, yeah.
But I'm very proud of. This is literally in the last. Well, we've been doing it for a year before we got here, but it was really only our sole source of income once we got here. So there's sort of two parts of Culture Kitchen, where I had the restaurant and Vanessa had she was executive chef at Savages in Port Elizabeth, and we had this on the side, and we saw the potential. But taking that leap, you see potential in one good month, and then another month where you may have dropped the ball,
bookings.
or you have no bookings, and then it drops,
and then that fear sets in. It's that panic.
So it's
don't panic.
So since
you'll be
August,
fine.
Paper packet.
Since August last year, we've been sort of chasing this, and I'm very proud of where we've come. I mean, January, February, even into March this year were very tough months. Joburg they don't like to spend money before the financial year end. We had been in Morgan's Bay, and I dropped the ball, to be totally honest with you. I wasn't looking for more work. I wasn't on Facebook. I was on the beach. We were in Morgan's Bay, and no, but yes, we were on holiday, but we were up at 5 o'clock every morning to be serving the runners at 7 o'clock, and then we worked through till about 4-5 o'clock, and then I went and had a couple beers with friends and whatever, and then we were sort of sleeping by 10 p.m. It's not really a holiday, although it was a great place to be working. But I going back to dropping the ball, I hadn't carried on. It's an everyday slog, looking for work,
really have to
being in
look
people's faces
forward.
all the time.
Yes, you have to.
What have I got booked next month? What have I got the month after that? What can I plan? What can I make happen? And you have to be a yes person. Somebody says, this is happening or that's happening, or do you want to do an interview, or just say yes. Say yes, and
I think that yes comes to a point almost where you're able to define where you'd like to be and where you would like to be. I think saying yes in the beginning is a good tactic, but don't let it become a habit, because then you become a yes man.
No, exactly.
Absolutely.
You said you'd do it. And
I was going to let her finish and then sort of add to it a little bit. Being a yes person, we were yes people at the beginning, and we were taking on jobs that weren't worth our while. And also not in with our ethics, and not knocking anyone that has different dietary requirements or whatever, but we only do free range. We only do grass-fed. SASSI, which is South African Seafood's Sustainable Seafood Initiative, and we do things with a conscience. And if people, we send a menu and we say, well, everything's free range and grass-fed and it's going to be 180 Rand a head and blah, blah, blah. They say, okay, well, can you do non-free range and so you can bring the price down? Say, sorry, we're actually, thank you very much for the opportunity. Let us know.
Yeah, but I mean, that starts whittling away at your brand credibility and your ethos. And what makes you Culture Kitchen? I mean, you start taking that away, and people are going to start to taste it.
Exactly.
People don't think you can taste the difference, but you can taste the difference.
And you can notice the difference. That's there's in taste, in texture, in health, general health. If people, they won't notice the difference with my free range chicken wrap that they get, but if they change their lives and they only eat free range chicken, they will notice a difference.
Sure.
And not only for that, but for their future children or their current children and stuff like that.
That's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother topic. But guys, I'll have to wrap it up. We've actually gone nice over, but fantastic. For everybody that's been watching, it's been an absolute pleasure sitting here with Mark and Vanessa from Culture Kitchens, and look forward to seeing you on the next one.
Yeah, please follow us, see where we're at, and see you guys around in Joburg.
Culture Kitchen ZA, so facebook.com /Culture Kitchen ZA, and then Chef Vanessa as well.
Chef Vanessa.
Thanks.
The brains.
brains. Cool, everybody. Thank you, and